So, what are you doing these days?
Okay. Well, we're not directly involved in the Feast of Tabernacles now in terms of leading. And so it's passed into other hands. It's changed form quite a bit. But what we're doing now is maintaining a place where people who can't afford the big expense of a hotel can come to a cheaper place and be part of a home here in Israel, not just a sterile hallway of some hotel.
Where is your home in Israel?
Motza Elid. It's the oldest. It's Emmaus, one of the Emmauses of the three. The famous road of Emmaus, where everybody knows the painting.
So about 5 miles from the center of Jerusalem.
About that, yeah. It's about 10 or 12 minutes. Yeah, we can handle about 18 people here, and
without sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, but the important thing is that there are vehicles. It's a vehicle where people can come together on the casualty of a living room, have concerts. We have concerts. We have discussions. We've Gideon Ariel has spoken here. There's been other rabbis that have spoken here, and it's a neutral territory. Put it this way, it's hard to find. The whole idea of the embassy is to have neutral territory, not a synagogue, not a church. Some people won't go to a synagogue, some people will go to a church, back and forth. So it's like neutral territory of a private home where people can feel the freedom to express what they want to say and what they want to hear.
Yes, and also I'm involved in several chamber music groups, and we're having one here actually this Saturday night with about 30 people here, and these are all Israelis. They play at professional level, every one of them, but they're doctors and lawyers and horticulturalists and everything else, and we come together for the sheer joy of it. I can't do this in Canada.
Music.
You know, the musicians will say, well, are we paid for the event? No, we're coming together just for the joy of it. And it's just wonderful to share. And the bridges are built and walls come tumbling down.
Tell us about what you do on Friday nights.
Friday night we have a special Erev. Erev means Eve, Shabbat, Erev, Friday night, to bring in the Sabbath. We have about anywhere from 10 to 24 people. They're comprised of house guests or tourists or just people living in the land that we love and know, you know, and we pool our resources together so far as the food is concerned, although we do most of the cooking ourselves. We keep it as kosher as we can. We never serve shell food or pork ever, and haven't for many, many years. And we have a brief service in which I light the candles. To us, the 2 candles, and I know there's a lot of discrepancy about this, but for 2 candles to us indicate the natural body of Israel and those of us who've been grafted in. So I light it for the 2 things, and we pray for Israel. We have a corporate prayer that we pray out loud that I've written, that everybody prays. It's quite a long prayer, but it covers the map. Merv does the kiddush on the wine, and he does the washing of the hands. He does the bread and everything. And it was a very interesting story, because here last year we had several Israelis, leftist secular people, that were here for a whole weekend, and we came to Friday night, and I thought, oh, what's going to happen here? So I lit the candles, and they kind of looked, and I asked the first guy on my left, I said, could you do the kiddush? He says, what, me? No, he says, I don't know how to do it. So I asked the next guy, he said, well, I did it when I was a kid, but I don't know it now. And I went around the room. Well, our little grandson, our Israeli grandson, who was then 5 years old, said, Ani, I can do it. So Merv wasn't here. He was in Toronto, so he ran all the way here, put on his kippah, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, he did the whole thing. And I was crying, because I thought, boy, a little child should lead them, And so we've had precious things happen during that time. And a lot of the Christians have never, ever been at something like that. And they begin to weep with joy, It's a wonderful time. And then we have a really yummy meal afterwards. I just forgot to mention that one of the things we do in our home is on Shabbat, we have a Torah class. And that'll last for 2 hours, and then we break for lunch, and then we have the other half of it. And oh boy, what a blessing it is. And we just love it. And people gravitate to it and they say, my goodness, what we have missed so much. So on both sides of the fence, there are misunderstandings. There are explanations that need to be made, superstitions that have to be broken down. And when you're on a bridge, you don't kind of fit anywhere, do you? And
You're at the end of the bridge, you go somewhere.
we're usually too Jewish for the Christians and too Christians for the Jew. We don't know where we fit in, but we know we're doing the right thing. So we just have to leave it with God.